Any last Wednesday's minutes? Did anyone have any changes?
I did not.
The only thing I saw was in the first paragraph about the transmission, fixing the transmission. Was that the same cruiser that blew the motor, or was it a different one?
Same.
Same, okay, all right. I couldn't remember, but yeah, it's fine.
Do I have a motion to accept?
Big motion.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
And I abstained, I wasn't there.
Yep. And we looked over the warrant last week. Should we check
For a correction.
for our corrections?
Can I ask one question? I looked at this afternoon. Water Department restricted fund balance. Can you
There's the way that Judy explained it to us is there's an overage in the water fund that they're transferring out of the operating fund into a capital reserve. But they can't do it unless they vote on it.
all right, but then down below,
That was my same question last week, is it 120,000?
I understand yeah,
So it's like 220,000.
Going into that capital reserve. But
it
it's-
must have been left. Oh, wait a minute. I see where it says in 2022. Okay, I think I answered my own question. It says this is from December of 2022. So it's money that they figured out belongs into
Well, it's
So-
extra, so they're gonna put it in the capital reserve.
where it's supposed to be.
For
Yeah,
Article 4, right?
Yeah. That they found when they must have done an audit. Because it's from December of 2022, whereas.
So
Down
we're
at
not
the,
really, but we're not really raising that money.
no,
It's
it's in there,
that fund to be transferred.
right, and then the water department down below.
but since she explained that
But
it's
see, that
on the
was my-
revenue side, it goes on the revenue side and then it goes out again or
So
something.
that was my
like-
question, because it's not being raised again.
Right,
So
so
why
the
is it-
terminology
So
is
why is it
confusing.
being added, like when you add up all the capital reserves to the operating balance on the MS 737, it's adding the 100 and the 120,
Yes.
and so is that 220,000 going into the
The water.
water department?
Yes.
Like if it's just, because I remember asking if it's just a transfer,
Would you mind coming in and
Do we need
explaining Article 4 real quick? Because-
See,
appropriated,
The water
if it's
department
already
is- Right.
has been appropriated. and
Right,
you're
so I feel like
transferring it.
the terminology is bad, it should say
no,
vote to move it as opposed to
no,
raise
that's
it.
the way that the DRA makes you write it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And for
but
the-
I
for the
understand
language.
Article 20, that is from a surplus that was in there that we had to take out of. Unassigned fund balance that belongs into the water department. So say when we had our expenses. And we didn't use it all. So that money belongs to the water department. So the money gets transferred into the capital reserve. Just like when we have.
That's Article 4, right?
That's
Article
Article
4
4.
is confusing
So
because
we're-
we're saying we're voting to raise and appropriate the
You
sum,
are.
but we
You're-
technically
You're
already
raising
have
it,
that money.
right, you're bringing it over from surplus though, it's
Right.
sitting out in,
Right.
From 2022,
from forever, it's unassigned fund balance is what it is.
And did they
So
find it
anytime-
in 2020, because it says December 31st of 2022 on it.
That should say 2023. It's our fund balance of 2023, so we need to fix that. If that's what it says.
Yes,
Okay.
That's what it
It
said.
says-
That needs to be.
so that's
fixed.
Article
what it
4.
Yeah.
So is it a 220,000 going into the water department?
Yes, you're taking $100,000, so you don't have to appropriate it from tax dollars. From the unassigned fund balance, you're bringing it in, and then you're appropriating it to move it to a capital reserve. If you didn't do that, it would stay in that like savings, just like you have for taxes, and then if there was a disaster, you'd have a special town meeting, an emergency meeting to use those monies.
So that's moving it, and then Article 20 is to,
Give
You're
it.
Using Article 20 is.
Is an additional hundred and
You're
twenty.
raising that.
That's actually tax
that's-
dollars.
That's
That's
from your
tax
tax
dollars.
dollars, yes,
But tax dollars only from those that have water.
from your water fund, right,
From
Yeah.
our water fund.
And then the 100,000 is not tax dollars.
right,
Right.
because it's surplus money.
Okay,
It's money that the water people have already paid in past years.
that was an overage and never got put anywhere.
Right, so there's quite a bit of money sitting in there, so when we can utilize some of it, we will move it over versus having to use tax dollars. And this is just the procedure to do that.
But 19 and 20 are coming from unassigned fund balance, correct?
No, 19,
19, 20 are
19,
raised by
20.
the users.
by the users.
With said funds to come from the sewer unassigned fund balance.
Sewer Department Capital Reserve previously established.
Received the town will be raised and appropriated.
20 says that too.
To be placed in the existing sewer department capital reserve previously established. With said funds to come from the sewer unassigned fund balance.
Right, so that seems like it's not tax dollars either.
That's not right. I'm wondering if my stuff got changed. Can you guys go back to they renumbered my articles? I wonder.
Let's go back to
But
last
what's
Can
week.
you go back to last week and just see if it was there?
Wouldn't we have it coming from the fund balance?
No, not those two, you wouldn't, those have to be appropriate, you don't have any unassigned fund balance, I need a pen.
We don't have it, when we appropriate the money then, and we don't spend all of our money in the departments for sewer and water, does it just go into your general fund?
No, they have their own
Yeah, they
funds,
did renumber
We
them.
did remember.
they have their own funds,
was-
every. Sewer and water is O2,
Yeah.
so your general fund's your O1 fund, your water is your O2 fund, your sewer is your O3 fund,
Right.
and they operate within themselves.
Okay,
So when, like sewer, you don't have any unassigned fund balance. There's nothing there, so you could not use anything because there's never anything there.
so in
So you
other
have
words,
to raise it from the sewer users to move it to the capital reserve. I'm sorry.
So Article
Article-
18 was the old sewer one from last week,
And then
and it says with said funds to come from the sewer unassigned fund balance.
that should not be there, that wording
What
has
should
to change.
it has to be raised and appropriated by,
It's gonna be
us.
raised and appropriated by them, yep. And it is gonna show that way, but then when you follow over to your MS 737, it will show it coming in as revenue. So it looks, because of the way the DRA forms are, it shows it, it has to show it, because there's no other place to show it in your operating, like, general fund side. But when you look on the MS 737, it's operating in and it's operating out, and those numbers coming in on the revenue side are bringing these back in. But the wording on these are wrong.
but number 4, then down the road, we're gonna see more of this happening.
It depends on what they, we just know that we have a major project on Morris Street right now that has probably more than doubled because we haven't been able to do it. So if we could have done it when we were supposed to be able to do it, you probably would have gotten it done for around $80,000. Now we're looking at upwards of over 200,000, just with the increase in everything and the permitting. So that's one. We'll never exhaust it. We'll use it when we can, but we also have a major, sorry, Marcy, a major water line down in Lower Woodstock that needs to be repaired or replaced. And that money will be some of it. It's, well, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, so it was $1 million, so. You're probably looking at what now, Steve?
What's-
Twice, yeah,
1.8
and we didn't qualify for a northern border grant.
at
Um,
that time.
but yeah. So.
How much is in that fund actually though? That's
Oh, yeah,
still
well, I can't
restricted.
tell you right now because I don't know what we're returning, but as of last, I would say. 500,000.
Oh, okay.
We took some of it and paid off our debt. We had water debt, we paid the water meter and the water line off. And then we moved 100,000 this year and 100,000
Okay.
next,
This coming
this coming year, yeah. It's really just a procedural thing that the government likes us to do, and it confuses everybody.
So you made a note to change it to December 31st, 2023?
And we didn't make that one. Maybe the other ones, the other ones definitely shouldn't be
Unassigned.
unassigned, no, that's definitely wrong,
Good thing we picked it up.
yes. Well, this is sitting in Laura's hands, so trust me,
She would have figured it out.
She would have picked it up.
I think so, and so will. I would assume that. Once we get into our meeting, we'll start going line by line. It's just good. Coming home, hey, I just staying, I'm just gonna grab my stuff and stay for a while.
That's the only question I have for this one.
So I can show you on my 737.
Anybody see anything else on the warrant?
I think you guys get home and really notice something, shoot me a message.
It's button, article, no, it's article 2, this one.
Yeah.
Police department equipment.
Is it really?
They cut off the D in 100.
I thought it was just my screen today.
No, it's on my printed one too. Sometimes I have to catch up, like before it goes to the town report and just do. This is all like. I was showing Kathy, this portal that I'm in is. Unbelievable, and I can't see everything all at once until I get to, well, yeah, you remember.
Oh, do I remember?
And then if like we renumber something, say I have to move something up to the top, it won't recycle for me. I have to go and
Change it.
do everything manually.
Oh,
wow, yes,
This will be
please.
an awful boring town meeting each year.
Please
You have a motion to accept?
scrutinize and look and prove.
Do a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Here we go. Okay, not gonna do line item, I'm gonna do department. Like, the first one says general government subtotal, that's what we're voting on, the subtotals, we're not doing line by line.
Oh,
Okay. So first up is general government. We have $1,485,417. Is there any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
It's Carol. Kathy, there's Carol, the motion.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, she was looking at it.
Oh, okay, she was, okay.
Yeah.
sorry. Trying
That's why I didn't say anything. She was looking right at me.
Public safety, $1,041,082. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Highway and streets, $275,800. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
No motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sanitation, $313,903. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Health, $9,050. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
A motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Welfare, $42,320. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Culture and Recreation, $490,381. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
I have a, may I ask a question
Yep.
on this line item? Does this include the King Rec?
Where are you? I'm
Culture
sorry.
and
Culture and
recreation.
recreation?
No, this is just
Four,
our,
5, 8,
yeah,
9,
This is
no.
just us.
Culture and Recreation is a recreation and community center. 4, 5,
Right.
8, 9.
oh, it is.
Yes.
Oh,
So were we going to have any further discussion on adding funds? If they were able to add the week for day camp?
Did you guys do that over at the joint meeting?
well, we tried to, but they wouldn't actually answer the question.
Right,
They wouldn't commit to it. They're just like, oh, we could think about it.
I think if you don't have it now, it's not happening. You would have to regroup with them. That decision should have been made over there and voted on between both of you guys.
Well, it's just a
And it
discussion.
didn't.
No,
No, they wouldn't commit to anything. They just.
Were they gonna revisit it? What was the?
It was hard to tell. It was Tammy, Bree and Tara that
and
were,
what we
I
got
can-
was, it's too hard to go from ASP to camp the next week. That's what we got.
yeah.
I can tell you I have, these numbers are the revised numbers from
From that. meeting.
Yeah.
from that meeting that the board had. What? So whatever you voted on,
We didn't. the
which
board
was
didn't
just the
vote either.
was it electricity?
It was
No, there was some-
electricity, there were a few.
If you don't grab them, I don't know. These are. the
I don't
revised-
think. There
Did
was no
they send you
discussion.
these numbers
Yes,
after our meeting? Then
yes.
it should reflect everything but what you're
That
talking about.
absolutely.
Right, yeah,
I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries.
okay, that was my question.
Any more discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Oh, motion.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. That was a vote with dissension, because you didn't vote, right?
I voted, I just questioned it.
Okay. Conservation and Development, $15,500. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Debt service, $94,800. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Capital outlay, $148,385. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye. Operating transfers out, $853,732. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Second, we need a second.
Oh. Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. So the total operating budget appropriations is $4,770,370. Now we go to special warrant articles. Okay, first up, water department restricted fund balance, 100,000. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. To establish an emergency management capital reserve with $2,000. Do I have a motion to accept?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
To establish a computer software capital reserve with $20,000. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
To put $5,000 in the community sun capital reserve. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Put 25,000 in revaluation capital reserve fund. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
To put $20,000 in the paving capital reserve fund. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. To put $25,452 in the highway block grant fund. Do I have any discussion? Motion to accept,
Motion.
second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Put 45,000 in the town building maintenance capital reserve. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. To put 31,000 in the fire department equipment capital reserve. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Put $50,000 in the fire truck capital reserve fund. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. To put $5,000 in the Main Street Revitalization Capital Reserve Fund. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
To put 10,000 in the solid waste facility improvement. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. To put 65,000 in the highway maintenance fund. Do I have any discussion? Motion to accept? Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next up, highway heavy duty, capital reserve, 75,000. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
To put 75,000 in the sewer department capital reserve. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. $120,000 in the water department capital reserve. Do I have any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Record preservation capital reserve, 10,000. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Police department equipment, $31,200. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. $5,000 in the cemetery maintenance capital reserve. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
To put $2,000 in the library computer equipment expendable trust. Any discussion? Motion to accept? Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So the total proposed special articles comes to $721,652. Next up is the revenues. We don't have to do this by line item, right? First up is taxes, $155,700. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. You all set, Helen?
I was going taxes, only $155,000.
I know, I did that too. Okay, license permits and fees, $343,037. Any discussion? Motion to accept? Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. State sources, $270,344. Any discussion? Motion to accept? Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Charges for services, $13,840. Do I have any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Miscellaneous revenues, $187,250. Any discussion? Motion to accept? Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Interfund operating transfers in subtotal. $1,148,732. Any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept? Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Other financing sources, $350,000. Any discussion?
How much should we have in fund balance after this?
Oh gosh, I have to go pull, you mean after we just set our tax rate?
Yeah. Are we within that?
Oh, yeah,
5%,
we're on
whatever?
the high side of that.
Okay, all right, I'm fine with that.
I would say we're probably about 15%.
That's what I was looking for. Perfect.
I
Okay,
just don't know it right off the top.
Other financing sources, $350,000. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Second? All those in favor say aye. So that leaves total estimated revenues and credits at $2,468,903.
Yeah. I mean, if everything stays as you are, you're looking at overall like a 3% increase.
in the tax. I was just gonna ask that question. Okay.
Which, you know, your overall, it will be up 92.6. Roughly 32 cents
Per thousand.
per thousand, 3% increase. Which I would say is not bad in the world we're in right now.
What's the inflation on everything?
Okay,
So,
so we are done voting. Next week is the public hearing at 5:30. But when do they do their meeting before us?
yes, we're gonna start at 5. Then
Okay,
we're gonna start with a floodplain hearing, then we'll roll into the selectmen's meeting with the warrant, and then we'll roll into yours.
okay. but we don't have to be there for that. Okay.
So we don't have to be at the meeting next week.
No, you have to be there at 5:30,
Okay.
not at 5. Okay, any other discussion to come before the board?
Please scrutinize this before that meeting, because trust me, somebody else is going.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Oh, motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. See you next week.
Sorry. I put brown foot on and I left.